go. Yo, get up, nah I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back, better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never gonna look back. Never gonna look back. Cause damn, I was built to last. You move slow and I move fast. And that's facts.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to the Chicago Sports Podcast. I am your man of the hour, D Nice. Y'all get on in here and let's talk some Bears football. Let's talk about Bears' recent movement. I'm gonna give you guys time to get up in here. I see Vizzo Joe. Shout out to you, bear down, sir. Welcome. We're talking Bears, and we're talking about some recent movements that the Bears have made in the last couple of days. Shout out to you, Plank. Bear down to you, sir. Welcome. Let y'all get up in here. And for you guys that's new up in here that's watching, please like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for coming on in here and kicking it with me for the moment. The whole CSP, we want to thank you, and we're very appreciative of you guys coming in and checking us out. You guys could be anywhere in the world, but y'all here with us, and we thank you for that. So let's talk some Bears. In most recent news, there's been another hiring. And that lucky guy is Mr. Press Taylor. Press Taylor has been hired as our new passing game coordinator. Press Taylor is the former OC in Jacksonville. He started out in Philadelphia from 2013 to 2015 as the assistant quarterbacks coach. Later on in 2016, he became the quarterbacks coach and passing game coordinator from 2016 to 2020. Now, we all know in 2017, the Philadelphia Eagles won the Super Bowl. He was a part of that staff. He later moved on to Indianapolis. He joined the coach as a senior offensive assistant in 21. I believe that was the year that Frank Reich was there. And after that season in 21, that's when he joined Jacksonville in 2022 through 24 on the Doug Peterson staffs in Jacksonville. He's the current pass game. He's our current pass game coordinator now. Now it wasn't a whole lot of good things that were said about him down there in Jacksonville, but he's now a Chicago Bear, and we can now give him a clean slate. And hopefully, he's able to turn the page here with us in Chicago. What do you guys think about that? I see I'm still letting you guys get on in here. Y'all come on in here. What's that? At COVID, could you give advice on sexless marriages? Wow. My wife is, I don't know who this is. I think he's in the wrong place. But nah, I don't have any advice on that, man. I think you need to go see a therapist. But anyway, let's get into some more news, man. The Bears also, there's been interviews on what I would honestly say is the most important coaching job outside of the head coach. This would be the most important coaching hire to me outside of the hiring of Ben Johnson himself. I know we all in Chicago, we love defense, and we are excited to have Dennis Allen as our D coordinator. But the offensive line coach is the second most popular man on this coaching staff as we sit at this stage as Chicago Bears. We all know the woes we had as an offense dealing with the offensive line, the injuries, the inconsistent play, and just bad blocking all together. Shout out to you, Plank. Nah, I don't have any advice. I don't have any marital advice, man. What's good, Bruce? I see you in here. Shout out to you. I see you guys filling in here. 17, 18 in here. For you guys that's new to it, please like and subscribe, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, Two more offensive line coach interviews were had. Now we do know that the Saints' former O-line coach Dan Roushar has already been linked, to the Bears due to the relationship he has with Coach Dennis Allen and Declan Doyle, in New Orleans. He's already had the link. But let's get into the two guys that were interviewed. The first guy I'd like to talk about, and this is a guy that I would like to see come to Chicago as an O-line coach for a number of reasons. We'll get into that in a second. But his name is Justin Frye. Justin Frye is the current offensive line coach at Ohio State. The NCAA champion Ohio State. Let's put some respect on their name. He's been there since 22, and since then he's had quite a number of guys fall in his draft, some early, also some depth guys that have been produced, by him that were drafted later on in the draft in 23, 24, and will be drafted in this year's draft in 25. Shout out to Mr. Scritori. Shout out to you. Welcome in, welcome in. But yeah, Justin Frye. He started out as a graduate assistant at the University of Florida in 2009 and 2010. He then moved on to Temple as their O-line coach and assistant head coach in 11 and 12. He then moved to Boston College as the O-line coach. And I'm more than certain that started a connection with Ryan Poles, being that Ryan Poles was former offensive lineman in Boston and a Boston College alum. So I want to say that's what started the connection there. After Boston College, he moved on to UCLA, became their O-line coach in 17 and 18, and also became the offensive coordinator in 19 from 2019 to 2021. Like I said, he's the current coach at Ohio at the national champion Ohio State. So this is a guy very seasoned. He's a pretty young guy, can relate to these young guys. And if he's not hired, I'm sure that he can give the Bears a scoop on the current guys that's currently in the draft, because you already know we're already looking at offensive linemen. So he can work out for us in one way or the other. So, what I'm saying? I'm glad that they brought him in just to talk to him, to pick his brain and just see, if he's the right man for the job, or if he can answer some questions for us about these current guys that's coming out in the draft. Moving on, the second guy that was interviewed was Mr. Joe Rudolph at Notre Dame, who was the runner-up as national champion. They're the runner-up national champions. Mr. Rudolph, he started out as tight end coach in Wisconsin from 08 to 11. He also in Wisconsin, he was the assistant head coach, offensive coordinator, and O-line coach from 2015 to 2021. He then moved. He went to Pitt as an assistant head coach from 2012 to 2014. He was also the offensive coordinator there. He was the interim head coach at Pitt in 14, which they gained a bowl berth in 14 under him as the interim. So that's pretty good. He's a run game coordinator at Virginia Tech in 2022. And then from Virginia Tech, he went on to become the Notre Dame's O-line coach in 23. So he's big. He's done a hell of a job at Notre Dame. Now, Notre Dame has always been known for producing O-line, or really trench guys in general. But he's carrying on tradition, and he has a heck of a recruiting class coming in this next year. So either he's gonna be hired by the Bears, or he's gonna return to Notre Dame with a heck of a recruiting class at O-line. You guys can come on, fill it up in here. You guys let me know what you think about these interviews. Let me know what you think about our current pass game coordinator as well. And like I said, Dan Rushar seems to have the leg up on these guys, but you just never know. Bear down to the people that's in here. Bear down to you guys that's watching. For you guys that's new here, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. In other news, most recently, the Bears has reached out to the Washington Commanders assistant QB coach David Blough. If the name sounds a little familiar to Bears fans, it's because he was the former Detroit Lions QB from 2019 to 2021. That explains the Ben Johnson connection. Blough was the QB when they nearly upset Mitch and Nagy on Thanksgiving by throwing for 280 yards and two TDs in 2019. The Bears came out victorious in that game, 24-20. With the current arrival of Declan Doyle and Press Taylor, it seems as if Ben Johnson would want to surround himself around like a more experienced group of guys who've navigated the trenches of the NFL. But he's doing quite the opposite. Excuse me. This approach that he's taken was used by current Rams head coach Sean McVay, targeting young unknowns who are quietly ascending in the league and have an appetite to make a name for themselves, you know, in these NFL streets. The interest in Blough is very understandable. You know, after all, you know, he's similar to our current QB coach, that's JT Barrett. These are two guys who had to fight their way into the NFL despite having very productive college careers. And it makes a lot of sense to surround him with Caleb, to surround Caleb with as many guys like this who have played the position as possible. Two guys, you know, like Blough and Barrett, who have the element of hard work, who can further instill this attitude into Williams. Caleb already has the talent. You know, I think that these young and hungry coaches can make Caleb more obsessive. He can become more not maniacal with the position of quarterback. You know, now there will be some competition with for Blough, being that Aaron Glenn has taken the coaching job with the Jets. So it'll be interesting to see which path he considers to further his career as a coach. So those are the young names that have been presented. Also, David Blough is a former Purdue Boilermaker. So you guys in the Midwest, I'm pretty sure that you're familiar, you know, with David Blough as a quarterback when he played at Purdue. But I want to hear what you guys think about these prospects. Bear down to you guys. Jay the Don, welcome, man. What's going on? Hope all is well, brother. And in my personal opinion, I would love to see that Mr. Frye come in from Ohio State to be our O-line coach, being that he has such a grasp on the college game, and he can reach out and he can relate to the younger guys coming to the league, and he has more than enough experience to add on to the younger guys that we have on our team currently. You know, I would like to see him in here, especially since Ben Johnson has started this youth movement with the head coaches that he decided to bring on in here. Shout out to you guys filling in. Shout out to you guys watching. And if you're new here, please like and subscribe. If you're new watching, please like and subscribe. Bear down to all y'all in the chat. Please keep the chats coming. Talk to me, guys. Tell me how you feel about this. Shout out to Dave. Welcome in. Welcome in. Daniel Warman. Chicago should sign BJ Hill from the Bengals. Not a bad signing. Not a bad signing. We'll see what happens, before we reach that signing period. We got a little ways. We got to get through the Senior Bowl first. I wonder if you guys have been checking out the Senior Bowl or keeping your ears to the street about what's been the ongoings at the Senior Bowl. You can tell me what you think about that as well. Jada Dunn said, "Yeah, I want Frye. We can start poaching OSU players. First come, first serve. Yes, indeed. And if anything else, bringing Frye in could give us an inside track on those guys from OSU. And that'll be amazing, man. Because I have one of the guys I would like to see the Bears draft is from OSU, and that's the offensive guard, Donovan Jackson. Now Simmons is an excellent player as well, but he has a bit of an injury history. So, you don't want to draft a guy too early, especially if he's been battered and bruised already. Vizzo Joe says, "I'm excited to see what Dennis Allen does to the defense to get the defense aggressive." I think we already have some defensive guys that's aggressive on the team. He just gotta put these guys in the right situation. And I think that's part of the reason why the cover two didn't work too well. It didn't fit the mentality of the guys that we had on the team. David says, I'm thinking that the OSU guy would be a perfect fit for the young lineman. Absolutely. I'm with you on that, David. The Bears Nation. I think we need to draft 2 offensive linemen. Maybe not starters, 1 or 2 maybe, but I think they need to get to veterans. Absolutely. I agree with the Bears Nation, yeah. Especially at center. Now, when we heard that the Bears were interviewing Mr. Shaw, David Shaw, for the coordinator position, I think a lot of us frowned up and may have been a little bit confused. But I think that interview could also help us in free agency, being that Drew Dalman is a former Stanford Cardinal. And when he played at Stanford, guess who the head coach was? David Shaw. So maybe Mr. Shaw was able to give us a little inside advice on Drew Dalman, because I do think that's a guy that the Bears are looking to bring up in here. So if that's the case, I know a lot of people don't want to think that the Bears are that forward thinking based off of some of the things that we've seen in the past. But at some point, ladies and gentlemen, we have to let the past go. Things are happening that show that the Bears are, under a new regime and doing things a lot differently. So let's see where it takes us. You just never know. But I'm glad to see that, at least in my eyes, it seems as if the Bears are a more forward-thinking franchise up top than it has been in the past. But as far as drafting 2 offensive linemen, I think they should maybe draft 3. I think if they can, mainly for depth, of course, because I've been on record of saying that I think Braxton Jones will be our starting left tackle. The free agents I like to see is Dahlman, Trey Smith, and possibly Zeitler from the Lions. To shore up our interior, and we already have our young bear, with Darnell at right tackle. So listen, you never know how this thing will work out. 8 Buckeyes from the defense, lunatic fringe. Shout out to you. Welcome. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do already. Jada Dunn says he really likes Lathan Ransom. He tackles better than Brisker. You think so? Brisker's a good hitter. Sometimes he forgets to wrap up. I haven't had a lot of look at Ransom, but I heard a lot about him, so I'm going to check him out, Jay. I appreciate you bringing that to my attention. Hopefully he can actually get these guys to follow his style and technique that he taught his guys at the college level. Yeah, let's hope so. But I think, I don't think that'll be hard to do. But I'm with you on that, David. Too many concussions, absolutely, Jada Dunn, and that's a very dangerous thing. And that's a thing I do think the Bears should take into consideration because, listen, these guys are going to have a life after football, and we don't want it to end up tragic like a lot of stories that we heard in the past. Tevin Jenkins coming back with a kind of, it'll depend on a few things. It'll depend on how successful we be in drafting players and also in free agency. Now, the money number when it comes down to Tevin, because Tevin hears the hype about itself, and he also has a stern belief in itself, and his representation is not going to think any differently. So, at a good number. OG Knucklehead, shout out to you and welcome. Notice that Detroit Lions fans are mad because they lost their OC, but we gave them David Montgomery. That's a fair trade. I agree with you, OG. I definitely agree with you. At this point, I think they still up. I think they still owe us a little more. Hopefully, Mr. Johnson can get us ahead, or at least we can break even. But yeah, you're absolutely right. So yeah, all is fair. Yeah, I see you're a Buckeye fan. I can tell that. Amanders. Hey, thanks. I appreciate it. I try my best to keep it up. Bears Island, what's that? Enlighten me. Shout out to Amanders. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe. What's the plan for free agency as far as the interior line goes? But draft a dog at a safety. I agree. But a lot of the dogs at safety is in that second round window. I don't think it'll be a lot of Bears fans be too happy if we draft a safety in the second round. But listen, I want the best players that's gonna make this team the best it can be. But as far as the plan for free agency, listen, Trey Smith is the big fish. Trey Smith is the guy who is linked to the Bears, and I think we have a great chance of landing him. It just makes too much sense. A lot of people may not think that he's going to reach free agency. I totally disagree. I think he's going to be the guy available in free agency. Kansas City has a lot of things that they have to work out, and they've done a great job over the years in drafting O-line later on in the draft for depth purposes. Purposes like this, when you're going to lose a guy, he's not. They're not. Listen, Trey Smith won't be the first really good lineman that Kansas City has lost over the years, but they've done a great job with adding depth and getting guys prepared to become starters. They're running kind of like a college system, which is very good to see. Hopefully, Ryan Poles can develop that trait and do the same thing for us. He's taking a lot different approach than those guys in KC, but listen, he still has a chance to get it right. Um, yeah, hey, shout out to you, Plank. You said a mouthful. Tev needs to stay healthy. Cody Simmons from Ohio State broke the Tennessee QB's helmet. Yeah, I remember that. I did see that. Shout out to all the Ohio State fans. I didn't mean to get you guys riled up so y'all can talk me to death about Ohio State. I really respect what those guys got going on, but y'all not gonna make me an Ohio State fan. I can be a fan of the play. Deshaun Watson and Justin Tucker are joining forces to open up a chain message parlor. I don't know anything about that. You're going to have to school me to that one, Vizzo Joe. As soon as free agency opens, Poles better tamper with Trey Smith immediately. Listen, between me and you, Jada Dunn, I think they already been chatting, at least indirectly. I think there has been some type of communication going. I really do believe that. A lot of people, don't want to believe that rules are being broken during this time of the year. You better do your research. Dave says, I know we need to upgrade our training staff to keep the injuries at a minimum. Yes, indeed. I agree with that. But listen, some of these guys, man, some of these guys are just fragile. It's just a very unfortunate part of the game, for both sides of it, for, our team and for those players as individuals. Some of these guys they just can't stay healthy. Bears Nation Montgomery is a traitor. Listen, man, he did what's best for him in his career. The Lonely Josh, what's going on? You're a Lions fan, but I also like the Bears. Hey, I can respect it, man. I appreciate you coming in. Please like and subscribe to Lonely Josh. Welcome in. But yeah, injuries are a very unfortunate part of the game. And some players have done a great job over their careers. It could be genetics. They've done a great job over the careers avoiding injury. But some guys, they trip. If they trip over the white lines on the field, they pull a muscle or sprain an ankle. It's just an unfortunate part of it. But listen, the training staff should always be looked to be upgraded because the number one ability in professional sports is availability. If you're available to play, then great things can happen. Shout out to you guys talking to me in the chat. I see we got like 45 in here watching. Shout out to you watching. If you're new here, please like and subscribe. What's going on here? If you like it, if you are fans of the ops, you guys can come on in here and like and subscribe as well. We like talking to friends. We like talking to fans of the ops. Keith Givens, shout out to you. What do you think of the Giants? Who do you think the Giants should draft in April? I don't know. Who do you want the Giants to draft in April? Is word on the street that you guys need a quarterback. How you feel about that? How you feel about drafting the quarterback early? But a better question for you, Mr. Givens. How do you feel about the Chicago Bears? Tell me that. Shout out to you guys watching. Please come on in here. Like and subscribe. Please do. Come on in here. And if you guys don't have anything, if you're a guy, I guess that'll conclude, I can wrap this thing up as far as the show is concerned. And I thank you guys for coming in here at this time. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me. And keep bringing the comments and tell me, what you think about these coaching interviews and the new hires, the new recent hires. Come on, Mr. Givens, welcome. Come on in here. And for you guys that's watching and for you guys still in here, please tune in 8 o'clock Central. We'll be doing the show tonight. Come check us out. please, please, please like and subscribe. On that note, I want to say a bear down and peace out to you guys. I hope you guys have a safe and productive rest of the day. Bear down, be safe.